Welcome to Cherry Hill Tuition, where incredible results are achieved. In this mathematics tutorial, I will cover some of the excellent processes used by Cherry Hill to achieve the highest grades. Let's get started. You will notice that the question numbers are not consecutive and do not start from 1. This is simply because the questions refer to Cherry Hill specific material, but do not worry if you do not have access to this. This video will still cover the concepts in full. Okay, so question 3. We have uv plus ux plus ud minus ue. And we need to factorize this. When factorizing, it is really important that we look at what is common in each term and then take that out. As you can see, u is common in each term. So this is quite easy to factorize. We can take the u out. Okay? Now, when it comes to what we put inside of the brackets, we need to look at each of the terms and check, what do we need to multiply u with to get those terms? So let's look at the first term. We have uv. What do we need to multiply u with to get uv? Hopefully you will realize that it is v, okay? And we do the same thing for ux. What do we need to multiply by u in order to get ux? And you should get x. What do we need to multiply u with to get ud? We need d. What do you need to multiply u with to get minus ue? So because of the minus sign, we need a minus, and then we also need an e, and this will give us minus ue. Okay, so we have now factorized this successfully. In order to double check if our answer is correct, let's expand this and check if we get this. Okay, so let's rewrite this here. So u, v plus x plus d minus e. U multiplied by v is uv. U multiplied by x is plus ux. U multiplied by d is ud. And u multiplied by minus e is minus ue. And as you can see, it matches the one at the above. Therefore, we know that our answer is correct. So that's quite a good way to check if our working out is correct. Okay, now try this question on your own without looking at my method. If your answer is correct, then try question 5 on your own and then press play to see my method and answer. Okay, so question 5, we are factorizing 3xy minus 6z plus minus 12yx minus 15bx. Okay, so what is common in each one of these terms? Hopefully you can see that there is an x that is common in every single term. And there is one more thing that is common. Hopefully you can see that 3, 6, 12, and 15 are all multiples of 3. So 3 is also common. So we can take out 3x. So let's write this next to the question. We can take out 3x, okay? We now need to ask ourselves, what do we need to multiply 3x by in order to get 3xy? So we already have the 3x, the only thing missing is the y. So our answer is y. Now, what do we need to multiply 3x by to get minus 6z? So let's look at the number first. We have a 3 here, but we need a minus 6. So we need to multiply 3 by minus 2 in order to get minus 6. Now we have the x, but we are only missing the z, so your answer is minus 2z. Okay? So we do the same thing when it comes to 12yx. What number multiplies by 3 in order to get minus 12? That number is minus 4. We already have the x, so we just need to add the y. What number do we need to multiply 3x by to get minus 15? Your answer is minus 5, and then we also have a b. So that is your answer. Okay? So again, let's double check this to make sure that our answer is correct. So 3x multiplied by y minus 2z minus 4y minus 5b. Okay, so this gives us 3xy, which is 3x multiplied by y. 3x multiplied by minus 2z is minus 6xz. 3x multiplied by minus 4y is minus 12yx. And 3x multiplied by minus 5b is minus 15xb. Okay? And as you can see, this matches our answer at the top, so is correct. Try this question on your own without looking at my answer. Okay. We are now factorizing x squared minus 5x minus 14. So when we're factorizing quadratics, the method is a little bit different. Now, what we need to do is multiply the coefficient of x squared. So by coefficient, what I mean is the number that's in front of the x squared by the number at the end, okay? So the number that does not have an x next to it. So the coefficient of this equation of x squared is just 1. So we multiply 1 by 14, which gives us 14, okay? Now we need two numbers that add to give us the coefficient of x. So add to give us minus 5 and multiply to give us minus 14. Okay? So let's think about the numbers that can give us minus 14, the pairs. So we have 2 multiplied by minus 7, or we have minus 7 multiplied by just 2. Now, one of these pairs need to add to give us minus 5. So because they're the same, it's exactly the same thing, minus 7 multiplied by 2. It's the only one that we can use. And you will see that minus 7 plus 2 gives us minus 5. Or in the same way, 2 minus 7 gives us minus 5 as well. Okay? So our pair consists of 2 and minus 7. So let's rub this bit out. Now we need to rewrite this equation by substituting these numbers in. So let me show you how I will write this. X squared minus 2x, plus 2x minus 7x minus 14. All I've done is I've rewritten minus 5x as 2x minus 7x. You can see that they have the exact same value. Minus 5x is the exact same as 2x minus 7x. I have just changed the way it looks. I have not changed anything else, okay? So the next step is to separate these and factorize them separately. So let's look at the left-hand side from the dotted line. We can take the x out because that is the only thing that's common in both terms. And then x needs to be multiplied by x to get x squared. And then x needs to be multiplied by 2 to get 2x. Okay? In the exact same way, if we look at the right-hand side from the dotted line, we can take the minus 7 out because that is common in both terms. We need to multiply minus 7 by x to get to minus 7, and then plus 2 multiplied by minus 7 gives us minus 14. Okay? One clever way to check if your answer is correct is that you should have the exact same bracket on both sides. If you do not have the exact same bracket, this means that you have made a mistake somewhere and you need to go back and check where you've gone wrong. The next step is very easy. We take x plus 2 out, and your second bracket will be the numbers outside of the brackets. So x minus 7, okay? And that is all you need to do. Let's check this to see if we are correct. So we have x plus 2, x minus 7. So x multiplied by x, so let's do this in steps actually, it might be a little bit easier. So x multiplied by x is x squared, x multiplied by minus 7 is minus 7x, and then 2 multiplied by x is plus 2x, and 2 multiplied by minus 7 is minus 14. Minus 7x and plus 2x are like terms, so we can collect these. X squared minus 5x minus 14. Okay? And as you can see, this matches the equation at the start, which means our working out and answer are both correct. Okay? So try this question on your own and see if you are able to work this out by yourself. Look at my method if you get stuck. If your answer is correct, then try the next question on your own. Okay. Question 28. Factorize 3y squared minus 4y minus 4. So in the exact same way, we multiply the coefficient of y squared, which is 3, by the number that does not have a letter next to it. So 3 multiplied by 4 minus 4 is minus 12. Okay? So now we need two numbers that add to give us minus 4 and multiply to give us minus 12. So let's think about the pairs that multiply to give us minus 12. We have minus 4 and 3, and we have minus 6 and 2, or we can have the opposite, which is minus 3 and 4, or minus 2 and 6. Now the only combinations that might give us a 4 are these. Let's test it to see which one it is. So let's label this 1 and label this 2. So 1 minus 6 plus 2 gives us minus 4. 2 minus 2 plus 6 gives us plus 4. We need minus 4, therefore this is our combination. So our combination is minus 6 and 2. We can rub the rest of it out. Okay, so in the exact same way as we did in the previous question, we now need to rewrite this equation using these numbers. So we rewrite this as 3y squared minus 6y plus 2y minus 4. Again, guys, minus 4y is the exact same value as minus 6y plus 2y. I have not changed anything, I have only changed the way it looks, okay? So the next step is to separate these and factorize separately. So let's look at the left-hand side first. We have 3y squared minus 6y. We can take out, in terms of the numbers, 3 is common because 3 is a multiple of 3 and 6. And then we can also take a y out because they are both common, okay? So what do we need to multiply 3y by in order to get 3y squared? Your answer is y. And what do we need to multiply 3y by in order to get minus 6y? We can have minus 2. Okay? So now let's look at the right-hand side. We've got 2y minus 4, and we can see that 2 is common because 2 is a multiple of 2, and it's also a multiple of 4. There are no letters that are common because the minus 4 has no letters. So we multiply 2 with y in order to get 2y, and then we multiply 2 by minus 2 in order to get minus 4. So we can already see that we have the same brackets here. Therefore, our answer must be correct. So that is one of your brackets. And then your next bracket is what's on the outside. So 3y plus 2. Now it's time to check if our answer is correct. Y multiplied by 3y is 3y squared. y multiplied by 2 is plus 2y, minus 2 multiplied by 3y is minus 6y, and then minus 2 multiplied by 2 is minus 4. 2y minus 6y are like terms, so we can collect these, and our answer is 3y squared minus 4y minus 4. Okay? And as you can see, this matches our equation above, so our answer is correct. Okay? Now try this question on your own and see if you get the same answer. Okay. Question 36. Factorize and solve x squared minus 3x minus 28 is equal to 0. So this involves the same steps as we did in the previous questions. However, there is a last step that we need to include. So let's get started by factorizing it first, and then I will show you how to solve. So in order to factorize x squared minus 3x minus 28, like I showed to you before, we need to multiply the coefficient of x squared by this number here. So 1 multiplied by minus 28, which is minus 28. Now we need two numbers that add to give us minus 3 and multiply to give us minus 28. Now let's think about the pairs that multiply to give us minus 28. So we have minus 14 and 2. We have 14 and minus 2. We have 7 and minus 4. Or we have minus 4 and 7. We have 1 and minus 28. Or we have minus 1 and 28. Now from these pairs, I hope you can see that the only combinations that can give us anything near a minus 3 is either 7 and minus 4 or minus 4 and 7. So let's label this 1 and let's label this 2, and let's check which one gives us the correct answer. So for 1, 7 minus 4 gives us 3. For 2, minus 4 plus 7 gives us 3. Okay, so apologies, we need to write minus 7 here and plus 4 here. So let's redo that one. So 2 is 4 minus 7, which is minus 3. Okay, so now you can see that the second one here is our correct pair. It is plus 4 and minus 7. So let's get that written down. Okay, now let's rewrite this using our pair here. Okay, so remember what I said before, we are not changing the value, we are not making any calculations, we are just changing the way it looks. So x squared plus 4x minus 7x minus 28 is equal to 0. So we now need to split this and factorize separately. On the left-hand side, you will see that the only thing we can factorize and take out is the x. And inside, we have x, because x multiplied by x gives us x squared. And then we have plus 4, because 4 multiplied by x gives us 4x. Okay? And on the right-hand side, the only thing that is common is minus 7. And we need an x, because minus 7 multiplied by x gives us minus 7x. And then we need a plus 4, because 4 multiplied by minus 7 gives us minus 28. So again, as you can see, our brackets are the same, so we are working in the right direction. So our first bracket is x plus 4, and our second bracket is what's outside, which is x minus 7, and this is all equal to 0. Okay? So this question also asks us to solve for x. They have also told us that the equation is equal to 0, and this is really going to help us. So all you need to do is make these equal to 0 separately. So x plus 4 is equal to 0, and x minus 7 is equal to 0. And now we just solve. We need to make x the subject for both of them. So if we look at the first one here, we need to minus 4 on both sides to get x on its own. So x plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 0 minus 4, which is minus 4. On the left-hand side, the 4's cancel out, so x is equal to minus 4. So that is one of your solutions. And we do the same thing to number 2. We need x on its own, so we need to eliminate the minus 7, and in order to do this, we do the opposite, which is plus 7 on both sides. So we end up with x minus 7 plus 7 is equal to 0 plus 7, which gives us 7. On the left-hand side, the minus 7 and the 7 cancel out, leaving us with x is equal to 7, and this is your second solution. Okay? So hopefully that made sense. We have this extra step here, just because it is asking us to solve. Try this question on your own again and see if you get the correct answer. If your answer is correct, then try question 43 on your own and then press play to see my method and answer. Okay. Question 43, we have 3x squared minus 20x minus 7 is equal to 0. We need to multiply the coefficient of x squared by minus 7. So 3 multiplied by minus 7 is minus 21. We now need two numbers that add to give us this number here, which is minus 20, and multiply to give us minus 21. So let's think about the combinations that multiply to give us minus 21. We have 1 and minus 21, we have minus 1 and 21, we have minus 7 and 3, and we have minus 3 and 7. I hope you can see that the only pairs that can give us a number next to minus 20 is either this one or this one. So let's test which one is the correct pair. So 1 minus 21 is minus 20. For 2, minus 1 plus 21 is 20. We need minus 20, so we now know that 1, the first one, is our pair. So let's rub everything out and get started with the rest of it. So 1 and minus 21. So hopefully you will realize that the next step is rewriting this, including the pair. So 3x squared plus x minus 21x minus 7 is equal to 0. We now need to split this and factorize separately. On the left-hand side, the only thing we can take out is the x, and we need to multiply x by 3x in order to get 3x squared, and then we need to multiply x by 1 to get x. On the right-hand side, the only thing that is common is -7. We need to multiply -7 by 3x in order to get -21x, and then +1, because 1 multiplied by -7 is -7. Our brackets are the same, so we know that we are working in the right direction. So our first bracket is 3x plus 1. Our second bracket is what's on the outside, x minus 7, and this is all equal to 0. Okay, in the exact same way, we do 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. We need to solve for x, so we need x on its own. Let's minus 1 on both sides. This gives us 3x plus 1 minus 1 is equal to -1. The 1 and the -1 cancel out. Let's move this here so we have more space. So we are left with 3x is equal to -1. And now, because 3 is being multiplied by the x as they are together, we need to divide both sides by 3. So we get 3x over 3 is equal to -1 over 3. So the 3's cancel out, therefore x is equal to -1 over 3. This is our first solution. Okay? Now the next solution is the second bracket, so x minus 7 is 0. We need to add 7 on both sides. The 7's cancel out, leaving us with x is equal to 7. And these are our two solutions. Okay, so hopefully that made sense.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, practice makes perfect. Never give up. I will see you in the next tutorial.